problem? Do people not turn on their windshield wipers when it's raining? Hello and welcome to Driving with John. Before we get started today, I want to remind everybody, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, give me a big thumbs up, and share this video with a friend. Alright, today my thought of the day basically is, I don't know if you've ever heard the expression, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. I heard that years ago and it just rang a bell in my head when I heard it because it reminded me of my childhood. When I was growing up, I hung out with basically three groups. One was just a person, but three groups of people. One was like a party group, and I was known as a partier. One was more of a play video games, backyard football, that kind of a group. And I hung out with them. And then I had one single friend that I hung out with a lot of time too. And my personality and the things I did changed depending on who I was with. Not that I knowingly did that, but like when I was hanging out with the partiers, I was a partier. When I was hanging out with the more stay-at-home types, play video games, hang out as friends, play football in the backyard, then I was that guy. And so when someone told me that about 15 years or more ago at this point, it rang a bell in my head about my own childhood. But I recently started saying that to my own kids because, on a teenage sense of that phrase, on a teenage sense, basically if you hang out with a group of people, let's say people that smoke weed, just use that for an example, or a party group, then whether you do those things or not, people are going to associate those things with you because of that group of friends that you have that do those things. So, like let's say you hang out with a bunch of people that smoke weed, but you don't particularly smoke weed. People are going to assume you do because you hang out with them. And if you do smoke weed and you hang out with them, then, that type of thing. So that's why that saying came to be. Because kids especially, teenagers especially, kind of morph into the person that, the group of people that they hang out with. So if you hang out with people that are troublemakers, you personally may not be a troublemaker, but people are going to think you are because you hung out with them. So I was thinking about it today, and that applies to teenagers really strong, but this doesn't apply to adults. And I was trying to think of situations where adults would, kind of morph into a person because of who they hung out with. And I thought of a few really good examples. One of them was, again, going back to drugs, let's say you're addicted to drugs and you want to stop doing it. And you quit, you go to rehab or however you quit, you do your thing, and that's awesome. But as soon as you are clean, you go back and hang out with those friends again. Whether you're clean or not, people are going to assume you're not because you're hanging out with those people that do it. And more likely, throughout time, you're going to get weak and end up doing drugs again. So it kind of fits it for adults also, there are rare occasions, like I personally am not a drinker, but I can hang out with a group of drinkers. I used to be a drinker when I was a kid, bad drinker. But now that I'm an adult, I stopped drinking. I might drink once a year, if that. And I stopped drinking years ago, around the time probably that I met my wife and my first daughter was born, in that time period. More when my first daughter was born, I would say. And so, I think that's the exception. I can hang out with a bunch of drinkers and not be a drinker. And I wouldn't even care if people associated with me being a drinker. But I think that's the exception, not the rule. On a good side, if you hang out with, let's say, a group at church, and you may not be the best Christian or, that whole thing, best Christian. There is no good Christian. We're all sinners. But people are going to perceive you as that because of who you hang out with. So it's true for adults too, you know. If you're doing things in your life that you don't like and you want to stop doing them, but you hang out with a whole bunch of people that do those things, you're going to have to, realize that in order for you to quit and stay quit doing those things or start doing those things and keep doing those things, you're going to have to hang out with a group of people that do that or don't do that, depending on the situation. So it kind of does apply to adults, and it's amazing humans have such strong influences on each other. I mean, politically, I'm a very conservative person, and I don't hang out with a lot of liberal people. I do talk to a lot of liberal people, especially on, social media and stuff, but I don't hang out with a lot of them. And I probably would, I think my views would probably change a little bit on a few things if I did. But I don't see the benefit in that, and I don't see the benefit for our country, and it doesn't really suit who I am as a person, so not really a need for that. Not that I couldn't have a friend that was a liberal, or, hang out occasionally with people that are liberal, but for me personally, I favor a conservative crowd. We have the same morals and values, and the way we look at things are very similar, so that's probably why. So I don't want to make a real long video. I just wanted to, give you my thought of the day. So, tell me who you're hanging out with, and I'll tell you who you are. I think that's true no matter how old you are. It doesn't just apply to teenagers, though with teenagers it's more evident, I think. But I think it's across the board, And if you want to change doing something that all your friends do as an adult or as a teenager, you're probably going to have to change friends, because more likely through time, might change. You might go back to that way that you were trying to give up. Or vice versa, if you wanted to, let's say you wanted to go to the gym more and work out, you might want to make some friends that go to the gym, because they'll help you and prompt you to stick to your goals. So it can work in a good way and a bad way. Just thought I'd throw that out there. It's not a negative thing always. It could be a good thing too. So, but just food for thought. And I really wanted to say, thank you to everybody that's been watching. I'm beyond humbled by the numbers that my channel's getting, and I really appreciate it. So, if you stayed watching this channel all the way till the channel, sorry, I'm a little tired tonight. If you stayed watching this video all the way until the end, then you'll find out that I said, I will see the phone, you will see me or the road on the next video. Got you on that one. Talk to you later. Oh, one last thing. Don't forget to laugh at yourself. I'm sorry, I just thought of this story, and I wanted to include it. I was thinking about it earlier today, and I wanted to include it on this video. Sometimes things happen, and you laugh in your head, and then you don't really tell anybody about it. But with me making videos, it gives me the opportunity to share these things before they just disappear in my head sometimes. So, about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that, I was in a rest area, and they had a sign, and it said, when raining, turn on your lights, turn on your windshield wipers, and turn off your flashers. The lights make sense, because not everybody knows that you're supposed to have your lights on when your windshield wipers are on. And the flashers make sense if you've been in southern United States, especially Florida area. Oh my goodness. Every time it rains, people turn on their flashers. I don't know why. It could be, it just doesn't make sense, but they do it down there. I don't know why. Or down here. You know what I mean. And, but it really I thought it was kind of funny that they had to tell people to turn on their windshield wipers when it's raining. Is this a problem? Do people not turn on their windshield wipers when it's raining? I don't know. I thought it was hilarious, so just thought I'd share it at the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. You all have a wonderful day. And don't forget, laugh at yourself. Bye.